good morning. This is Neeraja presenting you an animated video on the human respiratory system. Have you seen the lady? How energetic and enthusiastic she is. Can you guess the reason behind? Yeah, it is the breath of life, oxygen, which is providing all the energy for her enthusiasm. How she's getting recharged every now and then. Every second our body gets recharged with energy because of the breath of life, oxygen, and the system, the respiratory system. Respiration is one of the vital activity which all living things perform 24/7, so that the energy released to do various vital activities through this process. This is controlled by autonomic nervous system, an unconscious center present in the brain, which will give all the inputs for the intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide. This very step of respiration is called breathing, and every healthy human being, we breathe oxygen in and we call it as inhalation, and carbon dioxide out called exhalation. This inhalation and exhalation together we call as breathing process, and the vital organs involved in breathing are the lungs. Lungs are air-filled balloons which are spongy, and lungs continuously help in the gaseous exchange because of the small air sacs which are present in millions within the lungs called alveolus. The plural of alveolus is alveoli. Through these alveoli, 24/7 gaseous exchange takes place. The oxygen that is taken in through inhalation is absorbed into the alveolar chambers through diffusion process, and the carbon dioxide present in the alveolar chamber is sent out. So exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs through alveolar chambers. The absorbed oxygen is absorbed by hemoglobin pigment that is present in the blood, and the carbon dioxide that present in the blood plasma is sent out during exhalation. This entire mechanism we call it as breathing process. And the organs involved in the gaseous exchange are alveolus, which are present in the lungs. The moment oxygen is taken in, it enters into the nostrils and then nasal cavities, travels all through the trachea, reaches the lungs through bronchi, and finally in the alveolus, exchange of gases takes place. A healthy human being breathes 15 to 18 times per minute. Under heavy mechanical exercise, it will even go up to 25 times. And per day 10,000 liters of air we breathe. Now moving on to the functions of respiratory system. It helps in the transport of air in and out of the lungs. It protects against inhaled particles like dust and smoke, and exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen. And the components of respiratory system are nostrils, nasal cavity, oral cavity, pharynx, larynx, the first part of trachea, then trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, which finally divide into air chambers inside the lungs called alveoli. Once again, the various components of respiratory system are pair of nostrils in the nose, nasal cavity, oral cavity, pharynx, larynx or voice box, windpipe or trachea, bronchi. Bronchi branches into bronchioles inside the pair of lungs, and bronchioles further extend as air chambers called alveoli inside the lungs. The air that we breathe in enters through nostrils, reaches the nasal cavities, and then into pharynx, larynx, trachea, and trachea branches into bronchi, then bronchioles, and finally reaches to alveoli. When we breathe in air, epiglottis present in the pharynx, it will prevent the food entering into the windpipe, and it will pushes the food into esophagus and help in the continuous flow of air into the windpipe. By chance, if epiglottis is not there, then there won't be a continuous flow of air through the windpipe. So, epiglottis present in pharynx does an important job. Then, finally, air reaches into alveoli. Alveoli are the air chambers which are having a very intense network of capillaries which will help in exchange of gases. Inside the alveolar chamber, the hemoglobin present in RBC absorbs oxygen and lets the carbon dioxide out. And the exhaled carbon dioxide follows the same path from the bronchioles to the bronchi and then trachea, then pharynx, nasal cavity, and then through nostril it is exhaled out. So that's all about the mechanism of breathing. And for exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the blood and the tissues, lungs always contains a residual volume of air so that sufficient time can be provided for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. In a nutshell, in this video you have learnt about the various components of the respiratory system and then the mechanism of breathing and why the lungs are having the residual volume. And in the next video, we'll see the concluding part all about the disorders that are related with the respiratory system and the step to maintain good respiratory health. Till then, stay tuned. Bye bye. Catch you later. As of now, Neeraja signing off. Stay home. Stay safe.